Hello, and welcome to the speed learning series of ServiceNow's Now Assist for IRM. Today, we are going to deep dive into the capabilities of ServiceNow's AI platform that is truly transforming how our teams operate regulatory alert summarization and recommendations using Now Assist. Well, so today we are going to explore, how ServiceNow's Now Assist revolutionize IRM. We'll dive into the practical application of summarizing regulatory alerts and identifying the impacted controls. Then we'll walk you through setting up and activating these skills. Finally, we'll conclude with a demonstration and key takeaways to show you the immediate value Now Assist can bring to your IRM processes. Well, as you can see, the message is quite clear. The risk teams embracing AI will thrive. The risk landscape now demands more smarter ways of work, and hence Now Assist plays a vital role here. Now Assist for IRM is ServiceNow's powerful AI, right? It's built to make managing risk governance and compliance much easier and better. It helps in boosting productivity, improves quality, engages better teams, right? Our aim is to force multiply the power of your organization by empowering every risk professional with AI driven use cases, which is all natively built on a Now platform, leveraging the existing data. Well, this slide again highlights the significant challenges and inefficiencies the compliance team face when operating without the assistance of AI tool like Now Assist. Let's start, by looking at the current state of many compliance teams, right? The challenges they face on daily basis and why these challenges are so critical to address. First and foremost, the RCM manager. Now, again, a major pain point is the time consumption, right? Manually shifting through vast amount of information, which is incredibly time intensive. They are usually overwhelmed by the sheer volume of alerts that they have to process, right? And most of these alerts, looking at their complexity for each of these alerts. So the process involves, manual interpretation of complex alerts, which is again prone to human errors and take significant efforts and often lead to an inconsistent understanding of regulatory requirements across the teams, creating potential gaps. Right now, even moving beyond the managers, the entire compliance team struggles to map alerts to their control objectives, the citations, or any other related objects. Now, this is again highly intricate and often manual process. Now, the combined effect of these challenges is that the RCM managers and the compliance team are constantly struggling with the alert overload. Right now, this overload leads directly to fatigue and inconsistent interpretations of complex regulatory risks. And when these teams are tired and overwhelmed, mistakes do happen. Ultimately, these inefficiencies result in critical compliance gaps and hinders an effective regulatory posture. Now, this poses a real risk to the organization. Now, as you can see in the example below, all right, even a single regulatory alert like the FINRA rule change contains a significant amount of details that needs to be thoroughly analyzed and cross-referenced. Imagine doing this for hundreds and thousands of alerts, manually. These challenges definitely, calls for a need of a more important, intelligent approach. And this is where ServiceNow's Now Assist comes in, transforming these manual, error-prone processes into efficient, accurate, and proactive compliance management. Well, now let's look at, the transformative impact, right, of ServiceNow's Now Assist on the compliance team. Now, for the RCM managers, Now Assist can deliver enhanced efficiency. This means less time spent on tedious manual tasks and more focus on strategic oversight and ease in managing high volume of regulatory alert. Now, the key feature is our AI-powered summarization for complex alerts, right? Instead of reading through the lengthy content, managers, get concise, actionable summaries, saving significant amount of time and reducing misinterpretations. That leads to better and more impactful actions on your regulatory changes with clearer insights and decisions are more informed and effective, I would say. Well, for the broader team, right, the compliance team, Now Assist provides intelligent recommendations to map control objectives and citations with affected associated objects as well, right? So this is again a game changer, making the complex task of linking regulatory requirements to internal controls makes it much simpler and more accurate. So if you can see on the left, right, below, you can now see how the regulatory alerts has been smartly summarized with the key details such as the important dates, right, the regulatory authority details, and then the summary of key changes and penalties or fines if applicable. And on the right, Now Assist has processed this further by providing a clear recommended mapping to the impacted control objectives and citations with associated objects, right? It could be a risk, or it could be policies, or it could be controls, or it could be child control objectives and so on, right? So this is the power of AI-powered intelligence. Now Assist empowers compliance teams to work smarter and not harder, right? So it reduces manual burden, improves accuracy, and ensures your organization can proactively adapt to the ever-changing regulatory landscape. Well, now this slide visually explains the underlying mechanism of how Now Assist uses the RAG framework and the ServiceNow LLM that provides various data inputs to generate intelligent summaries and actionable recommendation on a regulatory alert. Right. So at the heart of this, process is the Now LLM. Right. So this is a specialized AI model designed for enterprise contexts. And now LLM also uses the retrieval augmented generation. We usually call it as RAG framework, right? So this is key to ensuring accuracy and relevance, or you may call it as a intelligent search to provide the recommendations. Now assist doesn't just simply guess; it pulls the vital information from multiple authoritative sources within the ServiceNow instance. Think of this as the fact it uses to build its understanding, right? So first we have the regulatory alert record, right? This includes the critical details like the title, taxonomy, description, sources, the dates of the alert, right? And this is the primary piece of information that we need to understand first. Next, it also references to your control objectives, right? These are your internal kind of guidelines that includes the name, descriptions, and the supplemental guidance, right? This helps Now Assist understand what internal control objectives are relevant to an alert. And finally, it also pulls in the citations, which are the specific legal or regulatory references, again with the name, description, and supplemental guidance, right? So this ensures the recommendations are sound and traceable. Well, The RAG framework acts as the intelligent bridge that retrieves the most relevant control objectives and citations from your enterprise database. Now, this retrieved factual information then arguments the prompt sent to the Now LLM, providing it with all the necessary context from your specific enterprise data. Now, once the Now LLM processes this enriched information, it generates two incredibly valuable output. The first one is the regulatory alert summary, right? So this distills complex regulatory text into easily digestible information, saving hours of manual review. Second, and equally important, are the recommendations. And these are the actionable insights, right? Specifically identifying the relevant control objective and the citations uh, that are impacted by the regulatory alert. Now, this directly tells the compliance teams what they need to focus on. Well, let's talk about the setup aspects, right? First and foremost, the prerequisites. So your platform version needs to be on Yokohama patch 1, which is bare minimum. Patch 3 would be the recommended one for the optimal performance and stability. Your RM version should be on uh, uh, 20.x or above, right? So this ensures compatibility with the latest AI capabilities. Well, you'll need to install the Now Assist IRM plugin version 20.1.1 or latest if available, right? So the installation typically requires the ServiceNow admin role to do that, and you can find this easily on the ServiceNow store. Well, activate these three skills: the regulatory alert summarization, regulatory alert impacted citations, and the control objective skills. The role required for this action is the Now Assist admin role, essentially a ServiceNow administrator with an Now Assist permission, or it could be any other admin role from your IRM modules who needs to be additionally given the Now Assist admin role. We have listed the steps to activate these skills. For more detailed instructions, you can always visit the uh, Now Assist skills page from the documentation portal. Well, so the key personas involved in leveraging and managing the analysis for IRM, first and foremost, the ServiceNow administrator. You can use the ServiceNow administrator for installing the analysis for IRM plugin. Similarly, he or she can also act as the analysis admin, provided if he or she has the analysis admin role. Now, the next one is the analysis admin himself, right? So this is the specific administrative role focused on implementing and customizing and overseeing the powerful AI and agentic AI capabilities of Now Assist. Use this role for activating and configuring the skills. Finally, the RCM manager, again a key end user, right, who is going to uh, benefit from the summarization and the recommendation feature, right? So the RCM manager needs to be again given the additional role, which is the SNGRC compliance Gen AI reg change AI user. Now this is the Gen AI role which needs to be given to your to your RCM manager. Well, it's also crucial to understand that leveraging these advanced capabilities require the IRM Professional Plus or the IRM Enterprise Plus SKU, right? So just to make sure that you unlock the full potential of analysis for IRM. Well, so now let's move into the exciting part, seeing the Now Assist in action with the live demonstration. We'll start by, quickly activating all the three skills, which is the regulatory alert summarization, then the impacted control objective skills, and the impacted citation skill. Later, we'll also see the summarization and the recommendation in an action. We'll touch upon a regulatory alert and see how the summarizations and recommendations work out there. Then probably following that, we'll quickly show you as to how you can uh, you know edit the skills. Well, a quick note on the prerequisites for this demo is to uh, make sure, right, that the regulatory alerts are configured and flowing in from your external sources to the service now, right? It could be a RSS feed, or it could be any other integration with Thomson Reuters, or any other external alert providers, right? Well, this demo is again, based on Yokohama patch 3, and the release of IRM which we are using is 20.1. Okay, so let's get into the instance. So what I've done here is it's logged in as a ServiceNow administrator, and what I do is I go to the ServiceNow store, download the Now Assist for IRM, and install this plugin. So once you install this plugin, what you could do is you could go to admin and go to Now Assist admin console. So once you get into the Now Assist admin console, you land into the overview page. This is where you get a quick summary as to the number of plugins you have installed. Similarly, you also get a status of all the skills which are active, which are inactive, and probably which are in draft state and so on. Similarly, you also have the same details on your right hand pane where you can go into the skill, which skill status wise skill and plugins with the status as. So if you can click on installed and look for the plugin Now Assist for IRM, which is installed, the status says installed. This means we are good to go ahead and activate the skills which are required for uh, regulatory alerts. Now, so once you install the Now Assist for IRM, what it does is it will bring in all the available skills for IRM. So you go to Now Assist skills and navigate to technologies, and under IRM, you should be able to see all the skills which are available for your integrated risk management. So let us quickly activate all the plugins which we have discussed in our previous slides for regulatory alert. Now, if you see that there are three skills: regulatory alert summarization, regulatory alert for impacted citations, and regulatory alert for control objectives. So let's activate all of these skills one by one. You click on active, and as soon as you click on active, you will land into the general details page. This is where you get to see the basic details of your skill, which is nothing but the name, the description as to what this skill is all about, product workflows, which product workflow is belongs to, product name, and obviously which LLM it is using, and so on. So you say save and continue. Once you say save and continue, you land into the choose input page. This is where you are actually setting up your base tables as to which fields you require that needs to go to your LLM for your further summarization. Similarly, with that, you can also add certain rule conditions to it, and also you can relate it to some of the other tables. Now, this is where it has been also, related to regulatory alert table, which is nothing but the taxonomy field which we are trying to bring in. You can edit this for now when you're actually activating this from the out of the box. This all these fields would be uneditable. So once you activate this, and then you can make a copy and bring in extra details into your input tables. So for now, I'm just keeping it everything as out of the box, and I say save and continue. And this is where you can again further define the conditions as to when this skill needs to be available. Say your regulatory alerts goes through different states, right? Or when it comes, it is new, and then when you get into the further process, it says it is in progress, and sometimes in close as well. So if you want the skill to be active only for certain state of your regulatory alert, you can click on customize skill availability, and this is where you can set the state and set the condition, and you can set in which state you want the skill to be active. But then if you want the skill to be active all the time, you can just select a skill is always available. Say save and continue for here. And this is where you are choosing whether you want to display that summarize button option on your regulatory alert. So you say display, and this is where you'll see which role is this assigned to. So you can bring in further roles here as well. But then we recommend you to just stick to the basic out of the box role. But yeah, you are free to assign or make enable the regulatory alert summarization button to any other user as well. So for now, I'm keeping it as out of the box. And this is the final state where you are reviewing as to what changes you have done, and you say activate. Quite simple. Now that the regulatory alert summarization skill is activated, let us also activate the rest of the two skills, which are going to tell you what are the impacted control objectives and the impacted citations. So let us also say quickly activate to this, and I display, I'm setting this display as on, and I say, oh God, give me 1 second. This is where it is. I was okay, and I say activate. So I've activated the impacted control objective. Now I'm also going to activate the regulatory alert impacted citations, which I say activate skill. Same thing goes here, and you say save, and I say activate. Okay. Now, to quickly check the status of all of these are activated, you can see it over here. It says active, regulatory alert summarization is active, and the impacted control objectives are active. Now, let us see this in action. We'll log in as the RCM manager, and I have already provided the GenAI role to the manager. And once the manager logs in, can get into the compliance workspace, or give me a quick second. Okay, I'm already in the compliance workspace. What I'll do is I've already have set an alert as my favorite. I'll just pull in. This is the one which I've used in my deck as well. So as you can see, the regulatory alert over here has a lot of description, and in the details also it does have a lot of description, which is, and when it comes to the RCM manager, he or she going through a list of alerts on daily basis, and it is very difficult to interpret. I mean, it's a hard job to do. But then to simplify this, what the managers can do is they can now generate the summary as to what this particular alert is talking about. So you say summarize, just give it a quick minute. This will summarize the complete alert, and it will give you, what are the important dates with mentioned within this, right? What is the regulatory authority who is publishing this, where it is coming from, what is the type, which jurisdiction it applies to, which sector, and what is the content type, right? So it is also giving you the content type. Similarly, down below, it also gives you the complete summary of what are the key changes as to what FINRA is proposing, right? FINRA is proposing for some rule changes that needs to be amended for the standard membership application forms. Similarly, it gives you a complete key summary as to what it is, what has changed, right? Who will be impacted, right? And what is the business impact on this? Plus, it will also bring in the details if at all there are any sort of penalties, which is mentioned within the regulatory alert. So the penalties and fines will be again mentioned over here in this. Now, you as the RCM manager, you can take a call and also provide your feedback as to whether this summarization was apt, whether it, what is the accuracy about it, and right. So you can always say helpful, or whether if it is not that helpful, you can always select it is not helpful. You can further copy this to a clipboard and copy it into your external files, be it a Word file, or be it if you're maintaining any other external file. So you can copy the summarization of this alert. Similarly, if there are other further changes within this, you can also refresh, then it will again generate a new summary based on if at all there are any changes within the alert, right? So once this is all done, as a user or as the RCM manager, what you could also do is you can share it to your additional comments so that you don't have to always come and generate a new summary, right? So this is a point in time summary. When you say, share this to your additional comments, the complete AI generated summary will be saved into your additional comments, right? So this is one of it. It gives you, the complete summary. Similarly, with the complete summary, now the RCM manager would also be in a position to see what are the impacted areas for this, right? So now to get the impacted areas, since that we have already activated this, the skill for control objective and citations, there will be another button over here which will tell you what are the recommendations. So you can click on recommendations. Now, once you click on recommendation, what it does is like once from this release, you'll also see a new tab which is called as a recommendation. And this is where your AI generated recommendations will be coming in. And what it does is like we have seen into our previous slides that the it uses the rack framework, and that is where it uses the extensive search, and that pops into your novel element. Based on that, your suggestions or the recommendations are shown here. Now what it does is it gets into your database and looks into all your citation table and your control objective tables. It goes through the name, the descriptions, right, the supplemental guidance, and based on that it gives you a recommendation. Now, if you see for citation, it has pulled up a couple of citations over here, right? And you could also see the details, what it is giving. It is giving you the reference. It is giving you when this was created, when this was updated. What is the description to it. If at all there is a supplemental guidance within that citation, that will also be pulled in over here. Plus, with this, it is also going to give you the evaluated affected association with the citations, if at all there it is available, right? It will give you the child citations, and it could also give you the control objective to which the citation has been associated. For now, in this example, you may not have it just because it is not there. But then if I go to control objectives, let us look into control objectives. What it does is within control objectives, uh, the recommendation is also pulling in the details of which control objective this could apply to, and also the affected association. And in this, it is also showing you which is the child control objective that is associated to it. Which is the child control objective that is associated to it. If there are any policies, it has been associated, and if there are any other controls which have been associated. Similarly, for the risk statements, if at all this has been mapped to any of your risk statements. Now, this gives you a holistic picture. Based on the recommendation, you can now further take a call whether you need to create or the further assessments. You need to get into your assessment impacts, and also you can create the tasks. So say for example, now that I am, as a RCM manager, I feel certain things are closely relating, right, to this alert, which needs to be mapped to a control objective. I can select that. I can select the policies, right, and then I can take a call whether to accept it or to dismiss it. So with a positive note, I will say, let's say I'll say accept it, right? So this is telling you, bringing in all the associations over here, and it says, and I say confirm. Now, once I say confirm, what it does is it will list all of those whichever recommendations you have accepted into the impacted areas, Now, if you feel you need to add furthermore, or if the AI has not prompted you, or if you have, if you feel like this has to be also related to some other control objective, you can always go in and add from here. You can add the impacted areas from here as well, right? And then based on that, you can again create a regulatory task. And if you want certain associations to be made to your control objective or to your citations, what you can do is you can create a task and send it to the control objective owner to make the further changes. Or you can also ask your control objective owner to further, attest it, or perform rest of the compliance activities. This looks simple, but now how it has now, just take a quick stop and think about the RCM manager going through all of these alert details, figuring out which control objective, what citations. The AI is now really making it so simple and easy that it is just on click of the button, right? You can quickly summarize, it gives you a quick recommendations, and then you just get into the usual workflow, right? You can further get into, assessing the impact, or you can just further close all the tasks and close this regulatory alert. Now, what I also wanted to touch upon is how one can, uh, you know, make edits to the prompt. So I do again, strongly recommend you to go to the analysis trainings to get a in-depth detail on this. But here we are just trying to touch upon and tell you as to where you can make changes to the edits. You could go to the Now Assist skill kit. From the Now Assist skill kit, look for ServiceNow related skills, and you should be able to see the skills which are related to regulatory alert, right? These are all your regulatory alert. And further this, when you get into the skill, you can take a call to make changes to this prompt. Now how you could do is, you can make changes based on the states, right? Else you can, for this uh, you know to make edits to this, the first and foremost thing is to you will need to make a clone or make a copy of your regulatory alert summarization, right? So you can make a clone of this. Once make the clone, give a new name to it, and then for the prompt which you want the changes to be done, you'll need to again copy this prompt and then use the prompt assistance to make changes as to if you need to bring in further more details into your summarization box, right? If you want to bring in more details to that, you can make edits to the prompt over here, publish it, and turn on the copied skill. So when you turn on the copied skill, by default, it will turn off the out of the box provided skill, and whatever changes you have made will be then reflecting into your summarization feature. Yeah, but I just wanted to touch upon this and tell you as to where you can go and make changes to the skill. Now, there's another important aspect is that I wanted to also highlight you the recommendation framework. Now, to access that, you can go to recommendation context, right? So under GRC administration, you should see something called as recommendation context. What it does is this is where whatever recommendations you have seen so far, right? One is for the citation and one is for the control objective, right? So if you want to bring in some more details into your recommendation page, that the one which we have seen, like you have seen the reference number, you have seen the name, and then you have seen the associated objects. So for that, if you want to make changes or if you want to configure that, this is the place you'll have to go. You'll have to click on suggest business operations uh, affected by regulatory alert. This is the place you will have to make changes to it. give it a quick second to load. uh, and this is where, as you can see, you can make changes to this. Now let's say click on control objective, and in the control objective, what it does is, what card details are we showing? We are showing the name and we are showing the parent, but you can also bring in certain few more fields over here. Similarly, right, subheader details, what you need into the subheader details, it gives you the category, it gives you the classification, the type, and when it was updated on. Similarly, what details, as you have seen, right, over here in the recommendations, let me quickly show you that. Right, so if you see here the description, the header, so you can bring in new fields over here just to give more context to your RCM managers, right? We are showing the description, we are showing the supplemental guidance, so these all things can be configured from here. Similarly, the relationships, right? Uh, the the affected associations. So this is where we are showing the child control objective, we are showing the policies, control, risk statements, you can further show risks. So that changes, you can make it from here, you can bring in any field you want to, and those will be listed here down below. This is nothing but trying to give more context to your RCM manager to take better decisions in terms of getting to know what are the impacted areas. Well, that's more of the configurations which you could do, and we have also seen as to from where you can edit the skills. Okay, now going back to our deck. So as you have seen that we have gone through the demo, we have covered most of these items over there. Moving on, so what we have done is we have also, provided certain screenshots and navigation steps to, make changes to the recommendation framework. You could use this. Then, and this is where we are also, giving you the steps for your Now Assist admin to, how the admin can track the usage and adoption of all the skills. And you can also monitor the skill performance, right? Leverage the filter options and bring in the skills, and the Now Assist admin can monitor the performance of each of the skills. Further, it will also give you the user wise details as to which user has been using the summarization feature quite often, and the number of time it has been used. So that report will be definitely handy to get a feel of the way how the Now Assist is getting used in your organization. All right. So again, this slide will outline you the journey of your regulatory alert summarization and recommendation. Quick 4 steps you need to follow as to if you want to implement this. Right. Get started by doing your quick technical assessments, check your data readiness, and get your planning done. Right. If you need to seek help, please do reach out to ServiceNow's impact team or your account execs, and they will guide you through to check your readiness on implementing Now Assist. The next step is to activate the skills. As you have seen, it is so simple to activate the skills. Following to that is configuration using the prompt management. As you have seen, you can change the prompt, right? You can try to bring in more context to your summarizations. And similarly, once mature into this journey, once you mature with your Now Assist program, you can also try to build your own skills and use it the way you want. Well, the impacts of implementing this are significant. As you have seen, it just is so simple, right? It boosts your efficiency. It ensures a complete context on your regulatory alerts, streamline the compliance, right, where it distills the complex regulations into into key changes, and showing you the deadlines, saving so much of your time and reducing the risk, right? It gives you a complete actionable compliance insight, right? It gives you clear summaries of your regulatory updates, ensuring you are always informed and compliant. As you have seen, again, it just brings in that effortlessness into your regulatory compliance. It just cut through the complexity, gives you the critical information you need to stay compliant and agile. Ultimately, it improves your decision making by providing clear, concise, AI powered insights. All right. So now we have lined up, some of the key resources over here. Please do make use of this. There are tons of information available as to how you can get up to speed. Uh, Make sure you also visit the Now Assist Skill Kit Fundamentals on YouTube, and this is where you'll get more insights as to how you can make those changes or edits to your Now Assist skills. These are all 5 to 10 minutes videos, but yes, when it comes to implementing this, these videos will give you all the basics of how you can make changes to the skills. All right. Thank you so much for watching the short learning video. Hope this would have provided you some quick insights into regulatory alerts and the recommendation, which is powered by Now Assist. Thank you and see you soon.